Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to learn structures in assembly language. Now, first of all, let me tell you what a structure is. So, first of all, a structure is what a structure is a heterogeneous data structure. Now, if you are familiar with the word data structure, you would know that data structure is any data storage that organizes your data. So, and what is a heterogeneous data structure? It is simply a data structure that can store different types of data, not homogeneous data, different types of data. We call that type of data structure a heterogeneous data structure, and this structure is one of them. So, how do we create a structure in our assembly code? The syntax for creating a structure is simple. You need to name your structure, any identifier, you can write it right here with the keyword struct. So you can replace this by any name of your interest, but you will keep this one in your code too, because this is the keyword for defining structures. You can start a structure using this keyword, but before this you need to write any name, you need to give any name to your structure, and likewise you need to close your structure by writing the same name here too, and with a keyword that is end s, and s means end the structure. So you can terminate your structure here. Now in between these two lines you can define your data members, you can define your variables of any type. You can define three variables of three different types, you can define three variables of only one type, or you can define how much variables do you want. You can define any number of variables according to your need. Okay, so this is how you create a structure in assembly code. Now how do we use these items? So for using these items, these three items, for example in my case I've created three items and I have written these question marks in front of them. This means that I haven't given them any value. So I haven't given them any value. These are currently empty, all three of them. So I want to use them further in my code. So I would teach you how to do that too. So now what do I do here? To access these variables, what do? I will create an instance of it. If you are familiar with coding in some other languages, like you might have learned classes and structures, so you need to create an object or a special type of variable for things like these to access these list of items. So to create that, the syntax is simple. You would write your variable name or your object name, and then you will write your structure name, which is what my struct, I have written it here. And then you would, inside the angle brackets, you would write according to this number of variables, you would write three lists here. Sorry, a list of three, and it's missing a comma here. There's a comma here. Now these are what you can initialize these three variables using these three parts here. You can, if you can write 1 here, this one will be given to your variable 1. If you write 2 here, this 2 will be given to your variable 2, and if you write 3 here, this 3 will be given to your variable 3. But if you want to keep them empty for now too, you can just replace all of them with question marks and nothing will happen, all of them will still be empty. So this is how you can create an instance for your structure. Now if you want to use any of these values inside your code section, now one more thing, this part will be inside our data section. This part will always be inside our data section. Now if you want to access it in your code section, what do you need to do? You need to use this special variable name, and you will use a dot operator with your any type of variable inside this structure, and you will successfully be able to access your structure. So this is how we create a structure in our assembly language. Now let's try to write a program of creating a basic structure in our assembly language and in our DOSBox. So for that I would go to my DOSBox and I'll create a file here by using the edit. For example, I am writing str1. I have written a program on the same topic a few hours ago, and I'll press enter, so I'll get a new editor here. So I'll write the preliminary things dot stack 100h and dot data dot code procedure main and pn and main. So this was the basic syntax of my program, basic structure of my program. Now inside the data section, what will I do? I will create my structure. So to create my structure, I can give it any name. For example, in my case, I am giving it my struct, and I am writing struc. So this is a keyword, and to end this, I would write my struct and s. I won't say end p, I would say end s, because I'm trying to terminate a structure. So inside this I can create any variable. For example, I'm creating variable 1, and this must be 4 bytes only, sorry, 1 byte only, and I'm not giving this any value. Now to access this one inside my code section, I need to have an instance of this one, or a variable, or a special type of variable, or we sometimes call it an object of this structure. So to create that object, for example, my object name will be my where. I would write something like this. Now what have I done here? I've created an object of my structure, and I will do some more thing here. Inside these angle brackets, I can initialize my value. For example, I have given my variable 1 what? A. If you want to keep it empty, you can simply do this, and this will keep your variable 1 still empty. But as I want to give it some value, as I want to initialize my variable, I will simply write A here. So this will what will this line do? This will create an instance with a variable with value A. So simply I can use it in my code. Now I can use this variable using this object here. So in my main procedure, for example, I want to print this variable's value, which is A, on screen. What will I do? First of all, I need to fetch the data segment inside my program. So for that, I would do move ax at data and move data segment ax. Now I can use my data segment as my data segment register is pointing towards the data segment. Now I can do anything with this part of my data. Now what will I do? I will simply move the value in my data register. Now I cannot write something like this here. I cannot call variable 1 directly. So for calling this, what will I do? I will write the name of my object, which is what? My where dot variable 1. Now what will happen? I am calling this with this instance. Now this will work successfully for me. So after doing this, what will I do? I'll simply give 2 to my accumulator register, and I'll create an interrupt 21h, and I would give some finishing touch, h for ch, and interrupt 21h. Now I think I'm good to go. I'll simply save it from here, and I'll close it from here too. I'll write some commands here. str1.asm, I'm giving it to the MASM assembler. It says there is no error. I can give it to my linker using link command str1.obj, because currently I'm having the object file. I'll press enter. I have now my executable file, so I can load it in my RAM by just writing the name here, str1.exe, and look, it says A. So now A is printed on my screen. So that is how we can use a data structure in a structure in assembly language. You can also create multiple data members inside your structure with the same technique, and you can access your data items with the same technique, the way I did in my program. So if you have any question, or if you want to see a video of one of my videos on structures with a complete program, you can put that in my comment box. And for any other question or query, my comment box is there for you guys. I will try to respond as soon as possible. So that's it from here now. I would see you in the next video.